Hello and welcome to Fitness Professor. Today we are talking about the topic no pain, no gain, and we don't mean the great movie with The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. Yes, since the 80s I have been regularly going to the gym, and there I always listen and have been taught that you have to do every set until muscular fatigue, otherwise it's just a warm-up. So, is that right? Is there anything to it, especially for advanced learners? Today I want to show you a lovely study, fairly new. Out. The study title already reveals a little bit of the conclusion, but as you know me, I would like to present it to you in a bit more detail. Yes, what did they do with 18 strength-trained subjects? I always find it important that not only beginners, but also trained subjects are tested. One has examined training one leg to muscle fatigue, while not training the other leg to muscle fatigue over a certain period of time. Here, the leg press and leg extension have been chosen twice a week, 8-12 repetitions, 2-4 minutes rest, so the usual. One assessed the muscle thickness and, of course, the maximum strength using ultrasound. Here is a nice overview. You can see the group again until fatigue, until failure, and the group just repetitions in reserve. She attempted to maintain 2 repetitions in reserve, so to speak, and 1 remaining in the tank in the leg press, as well as 1 in the leg extension. Yes, what was the outcome? As usual, I swiftly review the results. For a closer look, pause and examine them at your leisure. You can see at this location, the volume was matched and that worked quite well and efficiently. In hypertrophy, both legs, both groups, you can't say, both legs have gained muscle mass very well, and there was no significant difference between to failure and not to failure. I think this is already an important core statement here. As far as velocity is concerned, the speed has been measured and it has been observed that the more I approach fatigue, the more speed loss I have. That was also to be expected. This is essentially the foundation for the entire history and design of speed-based strength training. And that's why you can summarize, you can see it again pretty nicely in the top left here. The quadriceps increased muscle mass by 6.96% in the failure group and by 6.98% in the reps in reserve group. Really almost identical gains in muscle hypertrophy. And I think that's a very important statement. You don't always have to exert yourself to your maximum capacity with every sentence. You can also cease beforehand if needed. Important information. The second is, of course, and that was also to be expected, the more I go into fatigue, the more my speed decreases, which is something I can bring about. Actually, one more reason not to always go to the last possible repetition. What we also observe, often in the last possible repetition, is of course also breath holding, deflection, so many things that might be a bit risky for health. And one must also say that this work with reps in reserve is not entirely without, because how exactly am I supposed to know, do I still have 2 in the tank? Do I still have 3 in the tank? Or am I almost flat? Well, I think it must be an experienced athlete who uses it intentionally. However, the main message is clear. Based on this study, we do not have to reach complete muscle fatigue with every repetition, at least. So now I'm heading to the gym. Repetitions in reserve.